Okay, so this is, last week was Easter. I probably should have did this last week. I wanted people to enjoy and celebrate. My question is, which one of these stories of how the tomb was found to be empty is true? Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John have four different detailed descriptions of how Jesus' tomb is to be discovered empty, or was, is what they said, discovered empty. Now, I believe that this is people's attempt at deciphering prophecy, and four people had, you know, their they tried, but you can't tell me this. Look, here it is. About daybreak on the first day of the week, when the Sabbath was over, Mary of Magdala, that's Magdalene, and the other Mary came to look at the grave. Two Marys. Suddenly there was a violent earthquake. An angel of the Lord descended from heaven and came and rolled away the stone and sat down on it. His face shone like lightning. His garments were white as snow. At the sight of him, the guards shook with fear and fell to the ground as though dead. The angel spoke to the women. You, he said, have nothing to fear. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He is not here. He has been raised, as he said he would be. Come and see the place. Da da da. So then they hurried away from the tomb in awe and great joy and ran to bring the news to the disciples. That's one story. That's a detailed story, right, guys? Mark 16. When the Sabbath was over, Mary of Magdala, Mary the mother of James, and Salome, three women, bought aromatic oils, intending to go and anoint him. And very early on the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they came to the tomb. They were they were wondering among themselves who would roll away the stone for them from the entrance to the tomb. When they looked up and saw that the stone, huge as it was, had been rolled back already. So it wasn't a descending angel with an earthquake. It was rolled back already when they came there, right? They went into the tomb where they saw a young man sitting on the right hand side wearing a white robe, one angel, and they were dumbfounded. But he said to them, do not be alarmed. You are looking for Jesus of Nazareth who was crucified. He has been raised. He is not here. Look, there's the place where they laid him. But go and say to his disciples and to Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him as he told you. They went out and ran. Da da da. So that's two different ones. Now, Luke 24. I know you guys never read this stuff outside of church, so I'm going to help you. But very early on the first day of the week, they came to the tomb bringing the spices they had prepared. They found that the stone had been rolled away from the tomb, so no angel with the earthquake again. But when they went inside, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they stood utterly at a loss, suddenly two men in dazzling garments were at their side. So now two angels, right? But the first two is one. First is one coming with an earthquake and moving the stone. Then the next one is the stone was rolled away and they saw one sitting in there already. Now it's two angels. My friend, you try this in court. Try this in court and tell the judge that you're just doing what you saw done in the Bible. They're gonna throw your ass in jail. That's called perjury. So they were terrified and stood with eyes cast down, but the men said, why, da 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 da. All right, so, and the women that went there were Mary of Magdala, Joanna, and Mary the mother of James. Is that even the same? Is Joanna the same as, is Joanna the same? What was the, Mark? Mary. Is Joanna the same as Salome? Because Joanna and Salome are two different names. This says Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome. This says Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary the mother of James. And they with the other women told these things. But it said these three women were there, right? Mary Magdalene. So this is different. Do you not see like Christians like, oh, you're so stupid. No, they're like they get mad at me when I'm like, I didn't write this. I'm just asking you, which three of these stories do I rip out of my Bible? Because three of these is lies. At least. If not all of them are misinterpreted or whatever. But at least three of them are lies. Which three do I rip out? Stop teaching your children a lie. Early on the first day of the week, this is now as John. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary of Magdalene, Magdalene came to the tomb. She saw that the stone had been moved away from the entrance. She came alone and ran to Simon Peter and the other disciple. Who's the other disciple? The one who Jesus loved. Who is that? They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, she said, and we do not know where they have laid him. So Peter and the other disciple set out and made their way to the tomb. They ran together, but the other disciple ran faster than Peter and reached the tomb first. This is a completely different story. He peered in and saw the linen wrappings lying there, but he did not enter. Then Simon Peter caught up with him and went into the tomb. He saw the linen wrappings lying there and the napkin which had been round his head, not with the wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the disciple who had reached the tomb first also went in, and he saw and believed. Until then, they had not understood the scriptures, which showed that he must rise from the dead. So the disciples went home again, but Mary stood outside the tomb weeping alone. And as she wept, she peered into the tomb and saw two angels in white sitting there, one at the head and one at the feet where the body of Jesus had lain. They asked her, "Why are you weeping?" She answered, "They have taken my Lord away, and I do not know where they have laid him." With these words, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not recognize him. Jesus asked her, "Why are you weeping? Who are you looking for?" Thinking it was the gardener, she said, "If it is you, sir, who removed him, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said, "Mary." She turned around and said to him, "Rabboni," which is Hebrew for teacher. "Do not cling to me," said Jesus, "for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and tell them that I am ascended to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went to tell the disciples, "I have seen the Lord," she said, and gave them this message. Look, those are four completely different stories. Which one? You said Happy Easter. Which one are you celebrating?